Good day everyone. We are the Group 6 and our topic today is all about operations and post-implementations for Chapter 7. So, we proceed to preview. In assessing an ERP project, readiness for go-live planned tasks and activities must be completed to allow project management to address any outstanding issues that may jeopardize the go-live date. Readiness process needs to include as many team members, appropriate users, and managers as possible. Much of the success of an implementation lies with the stabilization and post-production support processes. So, bago mag-go live ang isang project ng ERP, kailangan muna nating tiyakin na natapos na yung dapat gawin para masiguro na walang problema na madedelay sa oras or date ng pag-go live. Para dito, kailangan magsagawa ng readiness assessment para matukoy at masolusyonan yung anumang mga issue na dadating. Ano nga ba yung go live? Ang go live ay ang oras kung kailan magiging available ang isang bagay para magamit. Importante na isama natin ang lahat ng mga members, users, and managers to ensure the preparation process is success. Dahil nakasalalay ang mga processes sa stabilization and post-production support. Next is preview Conti. All users should be focused on ensuring users understand how to use the system and that issues and problems are resolved as quickly as possible. Continual monitoring of implementation issues will provide a basis for moving from stabilization and post-production support. Training also gears up during the readiness process and continue through stabilization and post-production support. So, first, we need to understand how to use the system. Once na magkaroon ng problema, mabilis siyang mareresolve kasi alam na natin kung paano gagamitin yung system na yun. Para masiguro ang maayos na paglipat mula sa stabilization hanggang sa post-production support, kailangan natin patuloy na subaybayan ang mga issue sa implementation para walang maging problema. At syempre, ang training should start during the readiness processes and continue throughout stabilization and post-production support. Dito sa figure 7.1 na to, makikita nyo yung sample project methodology. So, every boxes have own explanation. First is requirements gathering gap analysis. This phase identifies the organization's specific needs for the ERP system. It also analyzes existing systems and processes to identify gaps and areas that need to be changed. Second is general system design. Based on the gathered requirements, a general design for the ERP system is created outlining the overall architecture, components, and key functionalities of the project. Third is yung build and test. The ERP system is built and tested to ensure it functions according to requirements and meets standards. Fourth is yung implementation. The ERP system is deployed in the organization's live environment. This includes configuring the system, training users, and migrating data from existing systems. And yung last is yung stabilization and production support. After implementations, the ERP system is continuously monitored and adjusted to ensure smooth operations and resolve any issues. The boxes labeled functional, technical, and change management represent the different areas of focus within the overall project methodology. First is yung functional. This area focuses on the business processes and how the ERP system will support them. It involves understanding the specific needs of different departments and ensuring the system meets their requirements. Next is yung technical. This area focuses on the technical aspects of the ERP implementations, including system architecture, integration, security, and database design. And the last is yung change management. This area focuses on the people side of the ERP implementation, ensuring a smooth transitions and minimizing resistance to change. It involves communication, support, training, and resistance management. Go Live Readiness. An elaborate readiness checkpoint should be in place for Go Live to make sure steps are not missed. Infrastructure development, configuration, conversion, testing, training, communications, operations, command central, reporting, and user must be assessed in the readiness processes. Readiness review need to be documented and communicated to the project team and the company. A detailed report needs to be available along with an executive summary for senior management. These slides emphasize the importance of a comprehensive go-live readiness process for a successful ERP implementation and para ma-ensure din nila yung smooth transition into operations and post-implementation phase. Go-live readiness currently. The Go-Live Readiness Review and Status Report is often a table that shows the status of each area at a glance, with the key activities that need to be completed before going live. The process for determining readiness consists of a series of meetings and discussions on the status of each area's tasks and activities. If the PMO sees a lot of red items, or RED items the first time through, it will help to focus the project teams on what needs to be accomplished in time period between the assessment and go live. This slide highlights the critical role of comprehensive go live readiness assessment and report in ensuring a successful ERP implementation, particularly in the operational and post-implementation phase, by providing a clear picture of the project status or emphasizing the needs for a clear communication and action to identify the areas that need attention before launch.
I am Kayla Gigante, and the first topic that I will discuss is the ERP training. First, training must be provided to everyone that will be using the system and should use real data and examples. My explanation is comprehensive training is essential for all users of an ERP system to ensure that they understand how to navigate and utilize the software effectively. Using real data and examples during training helps users to relate their information to their daily tasks, making it easier to understand complex concepts and functionalities. This practical approach enhances retention and application of skills learned, which will lead to a more efficient use of the ERP system in real-world scenarios. Next, if done correctly, training will capture about 90% of what users will see on a daily basis. My explanation is this high percentage indicates that effective training can significantly reduce the training curve and help users feel competent and confident in their roles. By focusing on common scenarios and functionalities, organizations can prepare their employees to handle day-to-day operations seamlessly. Next, ERP training personnel could include trainers who work for the software vendor, third-party trainers that have specific experience in ERP systems. My explanation is trainers from the software vendor are often best equipped with in-depth knowledge of the system's features and updates, while third-party trainers bring diverse experiences from different industries which can provide unique insights and practical applications of the ERP system. This combination ensures a well-rounded training experience tailored to meet specific organizational needs. Next, developing a variety of ways to train will better ensure the effectiveness of training. My explanation is methods such as hands-on workshops, e-learning modules, live demonstrations, and one-on-one coaching can cater to different learning styles among employees. This variety not only keeps participants engaged but also reinforces learning through different formats. Lastly, training needs to be endorsed by senior management early to ensure adequate funding. My explanation is adequate funding ensures that comprehensive resources are available for effective training programs, leading to a successful ERP implementations that align with organizational goals. Next topic is stabilization. This process begins when the ERP system software is in production, initial training is complete, and conversion of critical data is done. My explanation is this phase is important because it allows organizations to make transition from implementation to routine operation, ensuring that users can effectively engage with the system and that all necessary data is accessible and functional. After the ERP system goes live, the organization will need to shift to stabilization process 60 to 90 days. My explanation is during this time, users adapt to the new system while IT teams monitor performance and address any emerging issues. This time frame is essential for fine-tuning processes and ensuring that all functionalities operate as intended, allowing users to become proficient in their daily tasks using the ERP system. Next, IT staff will be monitoring the infrastructure for response times and ensure that backups are taken appropriately. My explanation is IT personnel play an important role during this process by continuously monitoring system performance metrics. This proactive monitoring helps identify potential problems early, enabling swift resolution and minimizing disruptions to business operations. Next, subject matter experts should be prepared to help many users from their departments operate the system in the correct way. My explanation is by being readily available to assist users within their departments, SMEs can provide guidance, answer questions, and troubleshoot issues as they arise. Because of their assistance, users may adjust to new ERP system workflows and functions more easily. Third topic is issues arising during stabilization. First, customizations add to the complexity if not documented and communicated well. My explanation is if these customizations are not thoroughly documented and communicated to users, it can lead to confusion and inefficiencies. Users may struggle to understand how to leverage new features or may bypass essential processes, resulting in operational disruptions. Next, not being able to perform ad hoc activities, not because the system is unavailable, but more about learning how to accomplish the activity. My explanation is this learning curve can lead to frustration as users attempt to adapt to unfamiliar workflows and functionalities. Proper training and support during this period are important for helping users gain confidence and efficiency in using the system for various tasks. Third, users make mistakes as they use the new process for the first time. My explanation is this is especially true when they are using the system for the first time because they may not yet fully understand its functionalities or best practices. These errors can affect data integrity and operational efficiency. Providing ongoing support and access to subject matter experts can help mitigate these mistakes by offering guidance and correcting misunderstanding promptly. Next, in a parallel implementation approach, the ERP system is operated concurrently with the old legacy system, which is labor-intensive, confusing, and frustrating. My explanation is while this method allows for a safety net as users adjust to the new system, it can be labor intensive and lead to confusion among employees who must navigate two systems at once. This dual operation can create frustration as users may struggle with inconsistencies between systems. leading to potential errors in data entry or reporting. Lastly, reconciliation has to be done between the new ERP system and the old legacy system to validate the inputs and outputs. My explanation is reconciliation helps identify discrepancies that may arise due to the differences in data handling or processing between systems. This validation step is critical for maintaining data integrity and ensuring that users can trust the information generated by the new ERP system as they transition away from the old one. Next topic is the post-production support. First, managing the daily system operations and ensuring that the system is doing what it needs to do is really the purpose of post-production support. My explanation is this phase involves overseeing daily functions, troubleshooting issues, and ensuring that the system performs as expected. Effective management during this period helps organizations maximize their investment in the ERP system, ensuring that it continues to meet business needs and supports users in their daily tasks. Next, if the post-production process is inadequate, then the implementation may be considered a failure. My explanation is if users encountered unresolved issues or if the system does not function properly, it can result in decreased productivity, frustration, and a lack of confidence in the new system. Therefore, organizations may struggle to achieve their operational goals, leading to a perception that the implementation was a failure despite any prior successes. Third, many of the risks associated with cutting over to the new ERP can be reduced by appropriate pre-go live and end-user training. My explanation is comprehensive pre-go live training equips users with the necessary skills and knowledge to navigate the new system effectively. This preparation helps reduce errors, enhances users' confidence, and fosters smoother transitions. By addressing potential issues through training, organizations can mitigate disruptions and ensure a more successful adoption of the ERP system. Lastly, subject matter experts and core project team members should be used to provide general support to answer simple process and system questions. My explanation is by providing access to these experts for answering questions and resolving issues, organizations can enhance user satisfaction and ensure that employees feel supported as they adapt to new workflows. This approach also fosters a culture of collaboration and continuous learning within the organization. Last topic is the product life cycle chart. I will discuss this one by one and I will start in implementation. Under implementation, nandun yung project review, design and gap analysis, development, testing, go live, and production. So first, project review. This is the initial phase where resource requirements are low and activities involve planning and reviewing the project scope. Next is the design and gap analysis. Here, resources increase as the product is designed and gaps between the current system and desired system are identified. Third is the development. This phase sees a higher allocation of resources as the actual product development takes place. Next is the testing. As development concludes, resources remain high for testing the product to ensure it meets requirements. Fifth is the go live. This phase involves the deployment of the product into production, typically requiring a peak in resources for a successful launch. In the middle part, we can see the production. It means that after implementation, resource needs drop significantly as the product moves into regular operation. Next part is the applications management or the operations and post-production. Here we can see the backlog, new modules, and major upgrades. During this stage, resources are allocated for maintenance, updates, and handling any new requirements or issues that arise. We can also see required maintenance. It means that a baseline of resources is needed continuously for maintenance, which varies in intensity during times of major upgrades or new feature development. On the left part, the graph plots resource requirements or the low, medium, high on the y-axis and time or product life stages on the x-axis. Initially, resources are low, ramp up through development and testing, peak during go live, and then settle into a steady state during production. Post-production includes cyclical increases in resources for handling backlogs, adding new modules, and performing major upgrades. To sum up, this chart effectively visualizes how resource needs fluctuate throughout the life cycle of a product, emphasizing that the majority of resources are required during development and go live, while maintenance and upgrades consume fewer but still notable resources over time.
Post-implementation support. Post-implementation support is generally divided into the following points: training, go-live support, data validation, data correction, patch and fixes, new features. Uh, Post-implementation support is crucial for the success of an ERP system. Key elements include defining the scope of support, setting up a qualified team, and providing ongoing training, regular feedback collection, and subsequent system enhancements to ensure the system meets user needs and expectations. Next is the knowledge transfer. There must be a well-defined process in place to transfer knowledge and skill to new or existing staff or team members during and after the implementation process. Project monitoring and tracking, collaboration and communication, subject matter expertise, a lesson learned, repository should be documented. A knowledge management plan should be in a place to monitor the transition from one phase of the implementation to another, which enables a smooth transfer of knowledge. Knowledge transfer about an ERP system must flow from those implementing the system to those responsible once in production. A fundamental component is that the learner has the capacity to receive the information from the knowledge holder. This capacity is called the absorptive capacity. A knowledge transfer management plan will ensure knowledge is retained, reduce the cost of support due to lower number of support calls, facilitate faster learning, better maximize the capabilities of the system, cut time in troubleshooting problems, ensure a correct use of the system. One centralized data repository can then be used to store documents, which will eliminate confusion, duplication, and losing the data. Knowledge transfer is important to long-term stability because it helps to reduce many problems associated with moving from implementation to the production. Implications for management. The closer an ERP implementation gets to its go live date, the more project management must focus on the issues, tasks, and activities to identify the issues and help to focus resources and efforts. To ensure a successful and sustainable ERP implementation, there must be a well thought out and understood knowledge transfer process where consultants, implementation partner staff, full-time and part-time staff, and even end users live. The internal project manager is responsible for driving the ERP implementation within the organization. Involves the working with the executive sponsor to facilitate the vision and for the project. it's necessary to align with the business objectives. In our summary, assessing readiness in ERP implementation is critical to the overall implementation process. Without the readiness process in place, it will be difficult to meet the go live date with any assurance. For the readiness process, project managers need to focus on the high priority tasks and activities and identify where workarounds are possible. Just in time and continual training is the mark of a good ERP implementation training plan. The readiness process is important to an ERP implementation. Why? Because it is assesses all tasks and activities and shows what areas need to be addressed prior to the go live date and should ensure that the go live will proceed smoothly with no threat of backwards retreat to the old legacy system. Stabilization. The implementing organization strives to reach into a normal operation using the new ERP software. Post-production support is the final phase of an ERP implementation and as important as any set of activities during the development phase. This phase is intended to manage the daily system of the operations and ensure the system is doing exactly what it needs to do. Thank you very much for your listening. God bless us all.